What's up, everybody? It's Jack and Dan.
And today we're finally doing the finishing touches on this refurbished tank.
Yeah, we got lots of plans. We're going to finally finish this. It's been a long summer project. We did a lot of rainy day, rainy weekends.
We had to scrape off the stuff. We had to replace the frame. You guys know.
Yeah. It's almost hard to believe how far it's come. It's doing awesome.
It looks totally different from when we picked it up at Ohio Fish Rescue.
Yeah, I mean, it was broken, falling apart. So here's the deal, guys. We're going to put an awesome little centerpiece in here in the tank. We're also going to put some stuff on the wall above it, which we're really excited about.
Possibly, maybe get some fish in here.
Might even get some fish in here before the weekend's over. And also going to add some more plants up here, too.
Yes.
So check it out, guys. Okay, so we're over here in the old laundry room, and this is our centerpiece. We talked about this in the last video. This is a big old kind of trunk / roots.
Sounds like a small tree.
Yeah, I mean, really cool. This is eucalyptus. We got this at a really awesome place called Pets General in Lakewood. We'll put a link in the description. Really cool little pet shop. I was over on that part of town. We've been soaking this in that sink for like, what, a month?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Takes a long time. It's very heavy. It finally got saturated. We want it to kind of look like a tree, so we got some of these old Anubias plants. We were over there at Best in Pets.
I like how it rolls off the tongue. Anubias.
Anubias, right?
Anubias.
And they gave us a really good deal. We got like a dozen or so of them, and we weren't exactly sure how we were going to attach them. Jack had a pretty good idea. We were with the old Michaels, right?
Michaels in the clearance section. We got some camouflage little rubber bands. That's what they're called.
Yes, we got little camouflage rubber bands, 600 latex-free rubber bands, and they even come with joiners if you want to join more together.
Yeah.
They were on the clearance rack. Everybody wanted the colorful ones. Everybody thought, what are we going to do with camouflage ones? Well, hey, if they're camouflage, maybe you won't be able to see them holding on to green and brown plants. So we're going to use those. Again, 99 cents. Go to your arts and crafts stores, guys. It's amazing what you can find, isn't it?
Yes.
So let's try to get these guys on here. Okay, so this is a really nice piece of wood. They gave us a great deal on this too. Hold it up here so we can kind of see. We're probably going to face it this way. Tilt the bottom up so I can see. A lot of times this is very hollow. And so, you know, it takes a long time to kind of figure that out. Now, if I turn it upside down, obviously we're going to face that toward the back. The cool part is fish will be able to go in the back and kind of go up here and hide. That'll be a good place for them, but you won't really be able to see it from the front. Okay, so we got about 4 on here so far. We actually found that this wood's going to turn really dark when it's wet. The little black ones actually are not very noticeable underwater and everything. I think this will be really good, dude. We've got quite a few on here. We're trying to kind of make them inconspicuous. We're banding them with like 2 bands on each one just as an added thing. But you know what? Hey, and then they also have these little joiners where you can join like 2 together if you got to go around a big area or something. But overall, this is really pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's, we'll get them all on here and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, definitely starting to look like a nice little jungle tree here. Jack's putting one way up here in this corner. It's pretty simple. You put the band on, you kind of band it in there. And a lot of people are saying, hey, is rubber okay? Lots of valves and lots of parts of filters and things are made of rubber and stuff anyway, aren't
Yes,
they?
they are.
Rubber's not going to hurt your fish or anything like that, any kind of thing like this. Nitrile, things like that aren't really going to harm anything. If we start to notice them breaking down, we are putting like 2 on each one as a backup. If we start to notice them breaking down or fish eating them or whatever, we can also change things around. This one here, we had to put all the way around. So we ended up using one of those little, you can't see it because I have a plant front. One of these little guys. These guys came in really handy for really long parts or fat parts, but those are super cool. And those are just plastics. Those won't harm anything. Definitely nice having 4 sets of hands because I'm holding the wood up. Jack's putting the band on, and then we just slide the plant under it. Hard to lay this down because now it has all these plants on it, you know, so you can't like lay it down. All right, it was not easy to finagle in here with that center brace and everything going on and with those pots, but we did get it, kind of turned it, had to kind of shift it sideways a little, didn't we?
Yes.
It kind of goes behind that pot a little bit, in front of this pot a little
kind of
bit.
blends in good with the green lights. I think that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the green leaves, the green lights, the bamboo. Ultimately, this came out really cool. It's like a big jungle tree. This Anubias will not grow very quickly, but hopefully it continues to survive. Wow, it looks really cool when you turn the the background starry night lights off and you just have the pots on. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
All right, it's been about 24 hours, and so far this centerpiece seems to be doing pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Now we got to figure out something to do up here, right, man?
Yeah, man, I really wish we had something to represent our emblem.
I might actually have a good idea.
So check these things out, man.
These guys are really neat.
So I was at Michael's when I was looking around for some other things and got those rubber bands to help hold on the Anubias plants. And I found these. These were quite expensive, but they were on the clearance rack. They were $29.99 each because these are really nice. But apparently no one wanted them. Maybe these letters aren't very popular or something like that. I don't know. But they were on sale for half price. So I felt like for $30, both of them, for how nice they were pretty cool. The only thing is, our JD, oh, you got a DJ. Our JD are green. So I thought, hey, man, you know what? We got to add some green to this. Now, we can let some of this white through. Found this paint for $1.99.
I might take a little small brush, and I'm going to leave some of the brown parts, and I'm just going to get the leaves, like, around the stems and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these brushes were only like $1. So Jack's going to work on this. Now, these do have really awesome little hooks. We can hang them right on the wall above the tank. I think that's going to look awesome because I really like the leaf design because that's going to mix in with the plants. So he's going to get to work on that. I'm going to address these bromeliads. These bromeliads have been on top of our tank, our big 220, and they are just a mess because we had a super, super cloudy couple of weeks. They didn't get much sun. So I brought them in here. I'm going to trim them. This one does a lot, but I'm going to move some of this bromeliad over to here. And also, we're going to be trimming some of the bamboo to put in the top of this new tank by these letters. But some of them are actually going to go in here too because we do keep them in here. And we're going to show you one of our little tricks of how we use the fish water to water our plants around here, right?
Yes.
You're doing awesome. Over here, what I did is I did get one of these bromeliad kind of plants over transported to this one. This one had hardly any left in it. It just doesn't get hardly any sun. We have to remember when we get these really cloudy days for a few days in a row to bring these guys up off the top of that tank and bring them in here, or simply turn the light on in that room. But anyway, this one's looking better. Now remember all that sand that we sifted out of our gravel so it didn't get clogged in our under gravel filter? Yeah. Well, I ended up putting some of that in here because this was kind of low. And so on top of the soil, I had some black sand, and we simply put some more in here. So this one's looking nice and full now. It has some bromeliad. It has some bamboo. You can see the bamboo's growing and doing well. I'm going to add a couple bamboos to this because the bamboo is due for trimming, and they're not all going to fit into that splash guard. Now, we do have some out here. We should probably do a little update. This table's kind of dirty because we were doing some work for some lava rock that's coming up. But anyway, if you remember when we made this planter, we put this out here and the sun just fried all these guys. Well, the cool part about bamboo is it adapts to its environment very well. So even though these all got fried and turned brown and died, they all actually grew back more adaptive to the sun. So as you can see, they're green now and doing very well. And most likely, we're going to ultimately end up bringing this inside, and that'll be a whole other video. But just want to do a little update on this since we were talking about the bamboo. This is coming along really good. This one even completely died, and you can see new leaves coming out of the middle here. Bamboo is really an amazing plant. Even in this scorching hot sun, it's just growing back and doing miraculously well. So let's get in here, back in here, and what we're going to do is bring some bamboo from the big tank into here, get these guys watered, and see how Jack's doing with his progress. Now, if we look up here on top of the 220, you can see that these guys have really gotten long. We did a video about a month or two ago on these and how we put these new guys in here. They are doing awesome. A lot of these even have 2 stalks coming off of each one, and we have done videos on this. In fact, all of these have 2 stalks. Some of them even have 3 or 4. When these guys start to get close to the ceiling, what we do is we chop them off. We cut them off, and we can either put them in that bromeliad plant or outside in our planter or in other tanks. And one of the things we're going to do is put them in this splash guard here where we have all these holes. So some of them are going to go there, and we're going to leave some of those holes open because we don't want to necessarily fill them all up right away. you could see, guys, that even just a few weeks ago, we took these out of the sink we had them in. They are already starting to grow straight up and starting to get some more height to them. These guys are going to go all the way up and they will continue to grow. And if you trim them, what they will do is they will simply come out of different areas. You can see here where this one came out of the bottom and turned up around and is growing up out of the top. Bamboo is amazing. It will always grow toward the top. So that's how they make these curved like this. They simply tilt them over and then they grow and they just keep changing the direction, and bamboo keeps growing up toward the sun, or light in this case. So we're gonna trim these up, and I'm definitely gonna trim some of these. These are some of the extras that we had. When we ordered these, we actually had these and they were sitting in such a well-lit area that they really have grown. So I'm actually gonna trim some of these off and put them in the bromelade. Just gonna take it, right about here, and just gonna kinda clip that right off. There you go. And that guy right there is gonna go into that bromelade, and it will continue to grow and even grow other sprouts off the stalk. Now, as far as this, you can see I was actually touching the chain of our fan. It might grow out of this stalk, it might grow somewhere else out of this stalk, but it will always continue to grow as long as they're well lit and have water. You can see here that this is a new leaf coming out the top of this one. So I'm gonna cut a few of these, take these, put them in those pots, get those bromelades watered back on top of the 220. All right, there's how it looks now. I did leave this one because this one wasn't that fat yet. I thought I'd give it a little more time. So I've got 4 nice ones here. We're gonna take these guys. Those will grow back in literally a matter of weeks. At this point, they're in such a well-lit area. And I'm gonna put these guys over there in the other place. All right, here we are, guys. Those are looking awesome. This one is definitely gonna go into the splash guard. It's a nice, really big one. Here I am with my trusty little green cup. Took some water out of that 220, very well-established tank. Gonna put about half of it in here. These are pretty dry. And like I said, we need to be a little more conscientious. We just had some super cloudy days in a row, and these guys didn't get much sun. So brought them over here into this room, gonna leave them in here, and then put them back on the tank. We are finally forecasting a little bit of sun in Cleveland, buddy. So that's good. So there you go, about a half cup in each one. I'm gonna leave these guys out here. Now we're gonna go trim some of the other ones that are growing off the 220, put those in the splash guard. Jack's doing awesome here. Really digging how that's coming out, man. Doing an awesome, awesome job, man. How's that? Is that pretty fun?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And this guy's gonna get a little magical fish water. And we've shown how to do this before in some of our other tanks. And look at that, how that sticks out like that. And what that bottom does, oops, there it is it just sticks in like that. And you'll notice that all kind of roots will grow off of those and help to purify your water. They don't necessarily have to stick down that much, but you know, obviously you're gonna get some evaporation sometimes, so you want them to stick down a couple of inches. And they will grow a bunch of roots and also help to clean that water naturally from your fish, so you have to do less water changes. And you just kind of position it in there like that. So really happy how that looks. Now, obviously those, again, will grow. They will grow other sprouts and they will grow taller. And if they don't, that's okay. These definitely will. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut some off of here. I did position these bromelades back up here because we do have a much sunnier day finally, and it is supposed to be sunny for a while. So there's my little green cup hiding behind our wonderful, awesome fish. Isn't that fish and the bromelades just match so wonderfully with the brown and purple and green? That's why we have those there. We love them. But anyway, they're back up there. They're doing wonderful. And we've, filled in some of the gaps with bamboo. Hopefully those bromelades will still continue to grow. Now we're gonna do some chop to these guys and put them over here in that one. All right, Jack's used his miniature little Reese's cup that we got when we went to Hershey when he was little to do the green paint. That's super awesome. Came out fantastic, man. How was that? Was that kind of fun doing that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like to do creative things like this. I like to paint stuff and build stuff. I thought it was really cool. And I put an extra layer on there to make a really bold flash out color against the white background.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I really like how you left some of the white spaces.
And it kind of looks like a cake too.
They do kind of look like cakes.
Yeah.
Makes me want to eat some cake. Well, we're going to let that all dry. Came out awesome. And we're going to go ahead and start the other parts, and then we'll hang this up after it dries. So very simply, we just put those little stalks down into those holes in that splash guard. And we will add more. We do have more holes for when, you know, the other bamboo gets bigger. And you can see here, very easy, they just go down. Now, we do usually tear off the leaves, right? We don't want the leaves rotting underwater.
Yes, that makes the water gross.
Well, they'll deteriorate, and, you know, we did miss one on that one there, but that's okay. It'll fall off. We do take those off. Now, in as little as a day or two, you will start to see little roots grow off the bottom of those stalks, won't you, kiddo?
Yes.
It's amazing how fast it happens. So as you look along here, you can see those little stalks will grow roots. And oh, there's another leaf we missed. That's okay. Again, not a big deal. And basically, you push it down to that, you know, next leaf section, and that kind of holds it in place. So should really work awesome. More roots, more removal of toxins, less water changes, and really kind of just filling up that background. Again, we will fill all those holes, and we're going to go ahead and hang that JD right there. So we've got these guys out. We got them in the bucket out of your tanks. That was not easy to do, was it?
No.
you have a very unique setup, and so I was kind of like reaching around doing
Took a long
things.
time.
It didn't take as long as we thought. We thought it might take hours to reach around and get these guys. We actually got it in about half an hour. Not too bad. We have the Farlowella, we have the Vampire Plecos, we have the Candy Cane Tetra. We're going to start this tank off with those guys. We have been acclimating them. About every 10 minutes, Jack comes over, takes about another cup or two of water out of this tank, and you're just dumping it in there, right?
Yes.
And that's all we're doing. We're just dumping that in there. We didn't leave them a lot of water because, you know, just enough. And then we just kind of keep pouring it in there. But every 5-10 minutes, we're doing that. And in about a half an hour or 40 minutes, we're going to go ahead and pop those guys in here. We're going to see what they look like. I am finding, the only thing I'm not loving about this is there is a little bit more glare than I thought. I thought these guys were really going to come down, shoot into this tank, but they are causing a little bit of glare. In the room here, it's not that bad. We can see them, especially at night, pretty well. We can also dim it down and get less reflection, which seems to help, but not sure if that's enough for the plants to get light. Probably what we'll do is leave this on bright kind of during the day when I'm working, and in the evening turn it down so we get a little bit less glare. There is, of course, always the option that we could put some lights up here. We do have other lights. We always kind of grab lights at the old Marks and stuff like that. When we see them in the clearance aisle and stuff like that, we grab them so we have extra. So we could always throw those up here. Honestly, we'll just kind of take it one day at a time and see how it goes. So we're going to finish acclimating these guys, get these guys in here, try to take some footage. All right, so that Farlowella and Big Vampire Pleco are really digging this wood. They're kind of checking it out, going around, cleaning it off. They're actually closer in size. I didn't realize how big that one Vampire Pleco was. They're getting along good hanging out. They didn't really hang out in Jack's tanks. These Candy Cane Tets are really digging all this. They're kind of going around the pots. Haven't gone inside the pots yet. Going around the centerpiece. Really cool. We'll kind of see how that all goes. They're kind of coming around the corner to take a look at me. They match really good in here. The red, the black, the pink, the white. They look really good in here. And this little guy over here, he's kind of got this whole side to himself. Look at this guy. He's like cleaning off. There is some sediment sitting on this gravel, you know, because it's just kind of been sitting in here with no fish. So they're going around and they are just you know, breaking all that up, cleaning all that up. So we've got a good start in here. We've got the Tetra, we've got the Plecos and Farlowella. You know, this is a big tank. We might end up taking one of those huge sail fins out of that 220 and putting them in here too, along with the Angels. So the next step in this really is going to be picking out some Angels, right?
Yeah, and you know, I just remember when we picked this up from Ohio Fish Rescue, and it just looked like a piece of crap. It just got gunk and musty crustiness all over the inside of the tank windows, and it just, the frame looked like crap. And I'm glad that we changed it because it looks so much shinier, and obviously with the water in it now, it just looks way much better.
It really is kind of amazing.
And the stand, too, it looks way much better.
Yeah, we were there almost a year ago.
Yes.
At the end of last summer, and helping out with a whole bunch of stuff. We were helping them move some tanks. We were helping them do a bunch of stuff, and this tank came in and it was really in bad shape. If you haven't seen the videos, guys, we'll put a link in the description of all the series. This is the 5th video of us refurbishing this tank. And yeah, I mean, this stand was falling apart. It was nasty. It was full of mice. It had,
Oh yeah.
you know,
gross.
poop in it, urine. We cleaned it, we painted it, sealed it. It came out really nice. We did end up, by the way, since we're going in here, we did end up putting a small little manifold on that pump. That is the original pump, just because it was so powerful. These things were shooting up and it was evaporating so fast. So we did put a little manifold and turn those down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you know, the frame was broken on this. Total investment in this tank was around $230, which is at least a fourth of what it would have cost to buy something like this new, isn't
Which,
it?
to be honest, a lot of was the spray paint, because spray paint's pretty expensive.
Yeah, actually the paint was one of the more expensive things between painting the background and painting this. The gravel we got a really good deal on. The piece of wood in the middle, the centerpiece, was actually about $30.
The plants were pretty cheap, and we got
Yeah.
the rubber bands. Obviously, they were cheap.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it's amazing that something was in such bad condition. Again, Big Rich was like, look, I don't want to deal with this. Josh doesn't want to deal with it. It's not really a tank that we need. They need bigger tanks, even bigger than this. It's big to some people,
the
but
only thing they get, this is a nursery tank for them.
yeah,
can't really use
put like babies in it, or something of that nature, sure. So at the end of the day, they said, hey, look, this is a great project. You're gonna have to take some time and money to put into it, but we know you guys will make something beautiful of it. I gotta tell you, it's hard to believe that this tank that was sitting, you know, in our garage looking the way that it did, we basically just used as many resources as we can, recycled things, reused things, and Jack's, of course, giving it its final buff with the towel we got from Joseph's Tropical Tanks. Thanks, Joseph. And it's really just come out amazing. It now has become this beautiful centerpiece to our dining room.
The letters are regular, but then the forest is reaching out with the leaves.
Yeah, this bamboo will grow up all the way and kind of be, you know, by the sign. That's why we kind of chose that sign. Jack did a great job on that. Really, really, really awesome. All right, well, this is a super fun summer project. Again, you know what? It's almost more satisfying to take something like this that was going to be thrown away, and refurbish it and fix it up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than just buying something new, because it kind of means something more that we worked on this project together.
I think for this thumbnail, we still have a picture of the old tank. We should just take the version of the dirty tank and then put before and then after and just put a picture of this.
Yeah, I mean, again, those videos will be linked in the description. They are in our aquarium playlist. We have several playlists because we have a lot of different things that we do. But of course, aquariums, you know, are our major hobby, and they're a wonderful, therapeutic, awesome coping mechanism and great, you know, hobby and interest, and we love it, and we encourage other people to do it. One of the reasons we made some of these videos longer and very detailed is we wanted to show a lot of the detail. We get a lot of comments and questions like, how'd you do this? How did you do this? So this series of 5 videos are a little bit on the longer side because we really showed every little detail about how we did the under gravel lights and the under gravel filter and the background lights and stuff, because we wanted people to really understand it well.
Yeah, we're also making instructions for you guys when we make these videos, because we're showing you how to make the tanks. We're showing you how to do it yourself if you want to do it.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. A lot of people like aquariums and think, hey, I'd like to have an aquarium. And you know what? Again, you can look on Facebook, you can look at places, at a newspaper. You'd be surprised. You could find a tank like this for next to nothing, and for $250, make an amazing centerpiece to your home that would have cost over $1,000. And so if you watch those videos, you'll see how to do it. Hey guys, thanks a lot for coming along on this ride with us and going through this refurbishing. We have many more projects coming up the rest of the summer and fall, and we hope that you check them out, and we hope that it inspires people to check out this hobby. It's a really great, fun hobby, isn't it, man?
Yes.
Thanks a lot so much, guys. We'll be doing an update. We're going to get some angelfish and some other things. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome rest of your summer.
Bye.